Hello, everyone. I wanted to come here to talk to you all a bit more about the law of assumption. Now, you maybe have heard of the law of attraction, but I want to specify more about the law of assumption, and I'll mention a bit about the law of attraction as well. But this is especially dedicated to the law of assumption and why this is what will help you shift so much in your manifestations. So, why you need to get on it as soon as possible. So, what is the law of assumption? Technically, well, not technically, really, the law of assumption, what it is assuming everything that you want through your imagination. It's really connecting with this energy, with this assumption within you that everything that you want is already yours, that everything that you desire is yours already, that you just feel it, you're so sure it's yours that you start to embody it. You start to walk in it, you start to feel it, you start to connect deeper with it. And so, this is what the law of assumption is. And it's very much connecting with assuming these things are already ours, but also very much like, how can I feel it even more? Because if you start to believe that all of our assumptions and all of our beliefs make the life that we live in, then you can see how our negative assumptions or our negative thoughts, our negative patterns, our negative beliefs keep bringing us back into the reality that we're living in now. But if you start to assume that the best is always coming, that the opportunities are always coming, that money is always coming, that all that abundance that you're seeking, you can literally feel it and embody it deeper, then guess what happens? Things start to shift. So, this is what the law of assumption and why it's so important to connect with it. But what I want us to really connect with it is how can we embody it and feel it even deeper? And I'll tell you a bit more towards the end, and then there'll also be another video about another specific technique. But in the meantime, it's very much knowing that you have to start to believe that certain things will come. And the reality is, often we can start it for one day, for 2 days, maybe even a month. But then you start to creep in with fear, with worry, with, is it this thing, nothing has really happened. You start to put in the fact that there have been no results. And because there have been no results, it means that nothing will actually ever shift. So that's why it's important to really bring in the belief and trust that those things, that you're feeling, that you're embodying are coming. And of course, having patience is so important. So we really have to focus on all these things. But when we do, we can really shift so much within us and really put us more in line with all the things that we want. So we need to really remember that we create our reality. And the more that you bring in negativity into it, the more the negativity is all around you. So the more you'll start to feel that things never shift for the right. And I want you to think about, even through this course, you've had moments where you felt so positive. You felt like, whoa. You started to be like, whoa, hold on. Good things are coming in. I can feel all this excitement, the positivity. I can feel the abundance is starting to come in. And then you creep in with the doubt. Then you start to feel like, oh, maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe certain things are still not going to shift. Or if there is a step back, you start to see it, well, here's the shoe dropping. Or maybe you're one of those people in the course that haven't reached the level of others yet. So you're feeling like you're behind. So then your things will never happen because you are behind, which you're not behind, is what I always repeat. But you still feel it. You feel like, oh, this is why it's happening. Oh, everyone is ahead. Everyone is manifesting, but not me. But that is your assumption right now. Because the belief in the law of assumption is also believing that things are shifting and brewing all around you without you even knowing. That's why we need to bring in this deep energy of believing, this deep energy of trusting, this deep energy of knowing that good things are going to come, but you have to put in this deep energy of assuming that it's already there. So, how do we do this a bit on a deeper level? First, you need absolute clarity of what you want. Let's say you want a house. You need to start to embody how it feels to be in that house. You need to start thinking, visualizing all of it, the house, what it looks like, what you feel when you are inside that house. How do you move in the house? Maybe you move with a bit more excitement because you are in the house of your dreams. So, how does all of that feel? Maybe you want to repaint some of the walls. How is that smell? How is the color? How is it coming out? And it's about just embodying the being in that house and believing in it so much that it does become true. Because that is now your reality. You shifted your assumption into having that. And I know already some of you are like, but what if the house isn't coming? Why are you bringing in that fear that the house is not coming? So we need to really shift that assumption into things will come. We just need to embrace trusting a bit deeper that they will come and that there is no time limit. We are the one that put the time limit. We are the one that are like, well, if this doesn't come by tomorrow, by next month, by next year, it's not happening. So it's about embracing that we have a completely different timeline than the universe. And often is we have almost like we get into this energy of like, oh, see, you're not giving me what I want, but I've been asking you so much. So what is it that I'm doing wrong? But meantime, there are still things that needed to shift all around you, and you're not allowing for that to happen. So yeah, again, we need to shift our beliefs. We need to shift knowing that we're assuming that everything is already there, that we are living that life. So let's say that you want to call into your business, into your life having a certain amount of money. You need to start to embody living in that lifestyle, which I'm not telling you like go spend crazy money, but it means how does it feel to have that certain amount of money? How does it feel to, for once, make a purchase, even a small one, without thinking about the money behind it? Or if I do this, then I need to calculate what else I have. You could go have a coffee in a very expensive hotel. Just have a coffee. How much is a coffee gonna cost? Just for you to embody being in the presence of the energy of the vibration of money. So these are all things that we can go to sort of like remind us of this energy and the law of assumption. And then the law of attraction is very much on just connected more on vibration and energy. So the law of attraction is more on positive thoughts. Positive things bring positive outcomes. Negative thoughts bring negative outcomes. If I surround myself just by the vibration of abundance, that is what I receive. But I think the importance is using also the law of assumption to shifting your beliefs of what is it that you deserve. And this brings also the energy of wealth and trusting that you can embody being wealthy without having all the money that brings with that, which is about, again, shifting your own belief, shifting your own energy into, I'm already wealthy. Money is catching up to me, but I'm already wealthy. So when you start to bring in that energy, it might even happen in a way of, oh, I am getting I'm getting asked, you know, I need to update my job, let's say, and I want to get a raise. But you might feel a bit like, oh, me asking for more money. But instead, if you start to assume, like, of course, I've gotten a raise and it's of this type of amount, how does that feel then? How do you embody that energy then? If you start to connect with the energy of money in terms of like, I want to see every month having a certain amount, okay, then what would it feel to have even more of that? So that you're not stuck on just having a certain amount only. So these are all things that we can work around with the law of assumption, and of course also the energy of the law of attraction. Something else that is very important in how you can use this is, for example, connect with the time when we are going to sleep and when we are waking up in the morning. That time before where we are kind of like we're getting ready to sleep and our subconscious is kind of like, and also the time when we're waking up where our subconscious is still like, am I still dreaming? Am I awake? And using those specific times to embody, that's going back to the house. I'm waking up in the house. I'm falling asleep in the house. This bed feels even more comfortable because it's in that house. What do the sheets feel like? So I'm working with all that energy, working with that assumption of you already being in it. But the importance with all of this is that you need to be very clear on what you want. You can't just be like, I want to be happy, I want to be abundant. You need to be specific on what that looks like for you, how that feels, how you breathe in that energy, how you move with that energy. So yeah, so these are all things to connect deeper when it comes to that. So just a bit of deeper focus on all of this. So again, love assumption. We work on believing deeply that all your desires are already fulfilled, like that you already have it all. And you act and make decisions based on that, based on your goals, as if you have already achieved them. So, what would be different that you're doing or not doing? And then the law of attraction is again working on having and maintaining that positive energy, thoughts and feelings, and really visualizing achieving them and attracting more of the abundance. So yeah, kind of like we see kind of like a bit of the difference between the two. But it's very important that we focus with this. And I invite you to really also think about it with creating some specific affirmations for yourself based on specifically what it is that you want, based specifically on what it is that you are calling in, and using that every single day, especially for the next 7 days, like using it fully every time, connecting deeper with this energy. So yeah, I hope all of this makes sense. And remember that what you think, what you believe, and any negative thought that you bring in shifts your reality, shifts what comes in. So the more that we bring in negativity, the more that we release the trust that certain things are not coming, or that we don't deserve certain things, or because it hasn't happened yet, it's not going to come, the more that energy becomes negative. And we have so many thoughts every single day. And start to notice how many times those thoughts are negative. And whenever one comes in, bring a positive right after that one. Hope this all makes sense. And yeah, I can't wait to chat to you more about all of this and to hear your thoughts. Sending you all so much love.